Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. I thought I would show you my palettes. I love palette collections. I know this is a different style video than I normally do. I hope that you guys enjoy it. I personally love palette collection videos. I just like to see what people have and what they're loving on, and maybe things that they're not loving on. You get like a lot of mini reviews in one. So if you guys want to see what I have, just keep on watching. I did go ahead and separate them into piles so that it's a little more organized. I put all of the same brands together. This is going to be the first half, which will be my more affordable palettes, and then I will do another one, part 2, which will be of higher end palettes. Some of them I don't have a whole bunch for. So you'll just see those kind of put together, like Zoeva, BH Cosmetics, Profusion, Milani. These are all kind of in one pile just because I don't have a whole bunch of those. But I'm going to go ahead and start off probably with Colourpop since I have the most of those. Hopefully you guys can see. I never filmed this way, so please bear with me if it's not straight or I'm out of focus at any point. So I'm going to start off with Good Sport from Colourpop. This is such a nice palette. I really love the shades in here. You're getting a good mix here. Green and purple, and I really love this color story. I feel like it's very unique, especially to my collection. I don't have a whole bunch of palettes that are in this kind of story. So this one I really love. I've kind of forgotten about this one, but I'm definitely going to start reaching for this. Next I have is All I See Is Magic. This was their holiday 2017 release. I almost decluttered this one because I found I wasn't using it that often. I don't know why I wasn't using it that much, but I feel like I'm going to reach for this a lot more come the fall or cooler months. But yeah, this one is a really nice one. Next I have the Disney Villains palette. This is Misunderstood. This has a very nice selection of jewel tones. There aren't a whole lot of mattes in here, which is probably my only critique. I wish this had a little bit more mattes, but I do like the color story. This one is not one I reach for a whole lot, just because I don't wear jewel tones that much, but this is such a pretty palette. I don't have the princess one they did, but I may end up buying that one also. And I just love Disney, so it was not hard for me to go ahead and pick that one up. Next I have Chasing Rainbows. This is a nice colorful palette. I like how this is like cute little pastel rainbow situation here. And then there's that. This has a really cute selection of colors too. This is such a cute color story. I love how this is this like rainbow. Unfortunately I won't be swatching any because I don't want this to be a super long video. This is the Colourpop collaboration with makeupshayla. I really love the packaging on this one. I think she did a really good job with the color story on this palette. My only critique is I wish that there had been a few more mattes, and I would have liked to have seen a cooler toned matte that would have been nice for the crease. I really like this palette. I definitely need to start pulling this one out more as well. And then I have another collaboration. This one is with iluvsarahii, and this one is Through My Eyes. Very up my alley. It's very much colors that I reach for on a daily basis. I haven't used this one for a while though. In doing these collection videos, you remember things that you used to love, and then gets you to bring them back out. But yeah, this is such a pretty one. This is the Sweet Talk palette. It's very soft. It reminds me so much of spring. It's just a very soft and kind of romantic palette to me. I do like this palette. Mine has a crack in it. The shade down here has a big crack in it. I don't know why. The next palette that I have is the Yes Please palette. I still can't figure out why they put Cute AF on the front when that's not the actual name of the palette. This is the Yes Please palette, but this is, I believe, their first pressed palette they came out with, and I love warm shades, so this is one I pull out much more in either the summer or particularly fall months. I reach for this one a whole bunch. The next one is the collaboration with karrueche. This is the She or Fem Rosa palette. Because I feel like this is a very soft and romantic type of palette, and that's what I think of when I see this. I need to remember to pull this out, guys. I'm gonna have to do better because I've been not really wearing makeup that much. Okay, so this one I did pick up from Ulta. This is the Colourpop's X's and O's. I love the packaging on this guy. It's super cute, very feminine, very fall, and I love it. And here is what she looks like. I found this to be such a pretty, very fall, really at any time palette. I'll be honest, I've only used this, I want to say once. I did do a video, so if you're interested in that, you can check that out on my channel. But I don't know. I don't know why I haven't reached for this one since. I want to say at most I've used it twice, but very pretty. And this is my probably first in the 9 pans when they started doing the more monochromatic palettes. This is the Oola, which was released I think for October 3rd, which was Mean Girls Date. I love this palette. I don't use it as much as I should, but I love it. And this shade up here called Tickle is my absolute favorite. It's so stunning. And then I did get the purple one, which is It's My Pleasure. This is such a pretty purple palette. I don't have a ton of purple palettes in my collection, but this one I really, really love. Some of the shades in here are very unique in general, but especially to my collection. So I'm gonna move on to 2 I have from the Balm. I don't know if the Balm is considered like drugstore. I found like they're pretty affordable, and most of the time when I buy them I get them on sale. But I do have this one here, which is from their matte or Meet Matte line. This one's Meet Matte Trimony, which is a cute little play on words. And this is an all matte palette, and it just looks like that. And I'll be honest, I haven't reached for these in a while, so I'm probably going to end up decluttering these as well. But I do like the quality of these. And then this one is Meet Matte Nude. And this one's giving you just more neutral vibes. Also a really nice palette. If you're into all matte palettes, this is a nice one. I also have one from Ace Beauty. This is their Classical Paradise palette. This is one I typically reach for in the fall time as well. I don't think this is everyone's cup of tea, but I love the shades in here as well as the quality of this palette. I picked up mine from Haute Look, which I haven't shopped from Haute Look in so long. Does anybody even still use them? Next I have one from Zoeva. I have quite a few of their brushes, but I don't have really any of their makeups. I did go ahead and pick up one of their eyeshadow palettes because I had to try out their formula. It's in Warm, very pretty. It's a very nice everyday palette. My only problem is the shimmers. I find them to just be very lackluster. They're just not exciting, and honestly they're pigmented. I mean, they definitely show up, but they just don't seem like shimmers. It's very much like a satin, and I don't know, I would prefer the shimmers to be a lot more shimmery. So I don't know, this is definitely not my favorite palette. I need to play around with this a little bit more. I'm going to show the only Morphe palette that I have, and this is the 35M Boss Mood. I've had some other ones that I've since decluttered. I have quite a few of the brushes and I do love those, but as far as palettes go, this is the only one that I have, and I actually really like the quality of this one. I haven't used majority of the palette, I'll be honest. I usually, when I use this, just use these 2 top, maybe even 3rd layer, but as far as the ones at the bottom, I never use them. If you are looking for something with green shades, I actually really like this. I know some people didn't care for this formula or these shades. Oddly enough, I don't have the Jaclyn Hill one. I'm going to go into Shop Hush. They went out of business a few years ago now, but I do still have a few of their palettes. And so I'm going to go ahead and show those next. This one is the Atlantis palette. This was the dupe for the Tarte palette that was a tease for April Fool's Day, that everyone wanted to be turned into a real palette, and so they went ahead and made this into one. Now that palette did come out, but it wasn't the one that they wanted it to be. But there's that. I will say that the formula on this isn't what it used to be. When I first purchased it, I really liked it. The colors were very pigmented and they blended out well. The formula has changed, especially on the lighter shades, so I'm probably going to end up decluttering this one. If you have a recommendation for a blue palette, let me know, because I'm most likely going to get rid of this one just because the lighter shades aren't performing the way that they used to. Next, I have a dupe for a Huda palette. I forget what the name of that one was. I'll probably list it on the screen. But Bad Habit Aftershock palette. And I honestly haven't used this one that much, but I do like the colors. Next, I have from the same brand the After Dark palette. This one is a dupe as well, but there she is. Very pretty. Next, from Bad Habit, I do have the Solstice palette. This one is duping the Natasha Denona, I want to say Sunset palette. And I really like the quality of this palette. I used this probably, the last time I probably used this was about a month ago or maybe a few weeks ago. And I really, really like the quality of this one. They did a really good job. I mean, it's not Natasha Denona, but very beautiful. Bad Habit also duped some palettes from Huda Beauty. This is the Athena palette and this is the Aphrodite palette. And this is duping her first one, the rose gold one. And the Athena palette is duping her other palette, which I can't think of right now either. For some reason, I can't think of the names. So I went and grabbed my Juvia's Place because they're on a different desk and I was running out of room up here. But I grabbed those. So I guess I'll start off with this one since it's right here. This is the Magic palette from Juvia's. I love this one. It's super colorful. This is my jam. I love the greens and blues at the bottom. So pretty. Next I have the Tribe. This is one of my favorite green palettes. Then I have the Saharan. I have the Masquerade palette. This is a nice mix of neutrals and colorful shades. This is one of my favorite also. Then I have the Nubian, which I'm pretty sure was their first palette. This one's nice. I will say my only critique with this one is that there are too many, in my opinion, there are just too many midtones. There isn't enough variety. So you're going to get a lot of looks that look very similar. But still, this is a solid palette. The formulation of Juvia's Place palettes are really, really good. Their shimmers are very beautiful. I have the Douce palette, or the Douce. I'm not sure how you say that. And I always love the packaging on Juvia's Place palettes. There's that. So pretty. This makes me think like spring. I don't know. I have the Saharan. This to me has a pretty interesting color story. I like the mix here with the greens and the more red tones here. This is one I definitely need to pull out more. I have the Nubian 2. And that's her right there. I have the Warrior palette. And this is probably their most neutral palette besides the Warrior 2, which is an all matte palette. This is so pretty. This is just appropriate for every day, and I feel like this would work on pretty much anybody. Okay, and then this is the Warrior 2. It is all matte. I really like this one. I like how they have this nice row here of like peachy or orangier shades in the center. That's such a nice mix with the other neutrals. And then this is my last one from Juvia's Place, and it's their mini, and it's the Violets. I did haul this one recently. Yeah, the shimmers are stunning. I did have trouble with these mattes on the end, but the shimmers are amazing. Okay, so we're almost done, guys. I don't have that much left. This one is the only one from Rimmel that I have, and this is their Crimson edition. This one is a dupe for Urban Decay Cherry palette. I want to say the Naked Cherry, and it looks like so. I actually really enjoy the quality of this. I don't have a ton of like drugstore, like Rimmel, Maybelline, CoverGirl type of brands. But this one I actually really enjoy, minus this shade here. I don't know if I got a dud or what, but this one just isn't pigmented. But the rest of the shadows are actually really nice. I haven't used this one for a while, but I definitely need to remember to pull this one back out. Jumping into Wet n Wild, I do have this one here, which is their Not a Basic Peach. Wet n Wild has a pretty solid formula. It's very nice. I will say I have had their much older palettes, and I felt like the formulation on those was a lot better, but these are not bad. And then I have one from the Pac-Man collection that had come out, oh gosh, a few years ago now. I actually really like this palette. The shade at the bottom here is super pretty. This was limited edition. It did release it with a collection of other products, but this was the only thing I picked up from the collection. Next is a palette from Profusion. This is the Emeralds. This was in a haul video of mine as well, and I think I've only used this once, but so far so good. Very pretty. The next palette is very reflective, but it is the Milani Pure Passion. I'm pretty sure these were discontinued, but I actually don't own any other Milani palettes, but I really like the formulation of this one. So I was like late to the game, but very pretty, and I'm glad I was able to grab it before they disappeared. And then I have two from BH Cosmetics. This one was limited edition a few years ago. This is their Weekend Festival palette. This one has a nice mix of more neutrally toned shades as well as colorful shades. I really like the shade selection in here. I haven't used this one that much, but yeah, I definitely need to try this out a little bit more. This got super hyped up on YouTube, and by the time I wanted to get it, it was already unavailable, but I ended up finding it at Kohl's. Okay, and then the other one I have from BH Cosmetics is the Royal Affair. This was also limited edition, so this one's not available anymore, but I really like the color selection of this one. It's very neutral and very different. I don't have anything else, I don't think, like this in my collection. The shades that stand out to me the most are these two here though. Super pretty. I really like that green over there. This is one I definitely need to pull out more as well. Very pretty and different from all my warm tones that I have in my palette, or in my collection. I have 3 more palettes left, and 2 of these are from Amazon. This one's from Delancey, and it's just a very pretty, and surprisingly the quality on this is really nice. I found these to be pretty pigmented, and I didn't have any trouble with building them up or with blending. I expected these to be really chalky, but for the price, these were really, really nice. And the next one I have is from Ucanbe. This is their Living Coral palette. And surprisingly, this is actually a really nice palette. The only shade that I didn't care for was this one down here. It wasn't really pigmented, but it was not a big deal. This one is actually really nice, surprisingly, for how light a lot of the shades are. They worked really well on my skin tone, and I've come up with some really cute looks with this one. So this one I definitely recommend if it's still on there and these are your type of shades. I would say give it a shot. And then the last palette I have is from Beauty Creations. This is in Tease Me. This is very neutral, but I actually really like how neutral this is. I don't have a ton that are pretty neutral like this. Thank you so much for watching. That's going to conclude today's video. And my battery's flashing, so I ended on perfectly. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about any of the palettes, or you want to see any reviews or looks with any of them, just let me know. I hope that you like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.